Okay, I'm up on Ann's roof, and I'm examining the chimney. And upon coming up on this roof, I've noticed, right offhand, a couple of issues. When they first tried to do the chimney repair, what they did was looks like they removed some of the caps, but they couldn't get all of them up because they were mucked down. What they did when they repaired the chimney was basically they just put a piece of coil stock over the old flashing to make a chimney back. And right off the bat, that's not a good idea because any chimney back will have to come all the way across a chimney. You can never go halfway. It's just fundamentally wrong. One of the reasons for this is once the water comes down on this chimney back on the neighbor's side, what it'll do is get underneath this cap, and then it'll get underneath the back on her side and go in. Also, when they put this chimney back on, these chimney backs are supposed to come up to right about where my finger is, at least, exposed. Basically, it should come all the way to here, but the exposure, what you see as far as white, should be down, up to right here. And what they did was they made it seem like they ran this flashing under this tab, but it's not. I can see the corner. If you look real closely, you can see the corner where the actual metal is cut, and it's just cut along this line. You can actually see the chimney back where they haven't got it run underneath anything, and it's barely ran out onto the roof. So right there, you've got problems right off the start. Basically what they did was when they caulked this, they really don't have any idea how water works, because here is the crotch where shingles butt together. Water will go in between those right here, and it'll make its way underneath this metal. Whoever did this had absolutely no idea what they were doing. Also, looking at the roof, the shingles themselves are not in terrible shape. Basically, but the way they installed them, is not a good way you install shingles. You can have great shingles, but if the installer doesn't do it the correct way, that's a terrible thing. Looking on, I guess you would call this maybe a pent. Somebody has put a flat roofing material on this, and instead of running the flat roofing material over these shingles, what they did was they just tarred the shingles down to this flat. I'm not saying that doesn't work or it's not working. That's not something that you want to do. That's a very terrible thing to do, especially if you're a competent roofer. Also, looking down here on this transition, this is what you call a transition, where this pitch comes to a wall and turns up. Basically, what they did was they just ran shingles up and I guess put another shingle under here in which the mat has came out. If you look right here, you can see wood exposed on this. I'm not sure why this isn't leaking or why it's not coming in, because you could see into the house right here. That's all along this wall. And this flat material, it should have at least had, a silver coat put on it whenever they silver coat the flat down there. I've already examined the flat down at the bottom, and I'll take another video just to explain what's going on with that. A silver coat at the bottom will not be a good idea at this point, but I'll explain that when I get down there. While I'm at it, let me go ahead and look and see how they've got this tie-in on this. Basically, what they don't have is they don't have a starter shingle at this tie-in, and that's not a good thing Because if you look underneath these shingles, where these two shingles butt together, you can look and you can see the flat roofing material right here. This is where the flat begins. If this camera will adjust. That's where the flat begins, as you can see right there. And now if I would drop this down, there's a crack right there where water will come in every time it rains. Basically what they did was a very terrible job on a hard-working person's house. Now, when it comes to a valley, always this shingle should be ran up first. And the reason being is when water comes down this valley, it will go under these shingles somewhat, and it will get to this this hole, crotch, whatever. It'll get to this where this flat material is, and basically what you have is a leak right there. That's a guaranteed leak. Whether it's coming in the house or not, I'm not sure. They also, of course, did not dub the shingles like they should have. That's a given. When somebody does something this bad, they never dub shingles. Basically, all the penetrations are not good. Somebody, likes to use a lot of caulk, and if you roof a house, generally there's very few reasons you're going to need caulk, but you'll never need caulk once you flash something like this. I mean, there's no reason for caulk to be there. I don't know why they would do that. But I can promise the corners are probably bad as well. We'll go down and we'll take a look at the bottom.